Glass shattered. Oops. Chad's heart skipped a beat. The moment the maid stumbled upon his secret consulting lessons, Chad's mind raced with anxiety. But as he gazed into her eyes, a surge of overwhelming adoration. This wasn't the first time he had been caught, but in that moment, it became clear to him that he didn't want to run away from the situation. Instead, he resolved to showcase his unparalleled mastery, hoping to leave the maid enchanted by his exquisite talents. As if fate was not on his side, a single word escaped someone's lips. Verdia. And something snapped inside him. You know what I mean. He unleashed his skills, astounding and captivating everyone present. Sadly, nothing goes according to plan in the isekai world. He found himself hanging like Eren Yeager while water splashed around him. As a man approached him and asked about his objectives, that's when we learned his true name was Taeyang Geum. The man warns that he has messed with the wrong person. In reply, he says, "For a lady like that, I will turn the world upside down." Water splashed, and the man asked for any last words. In response, he mentioned the incredible power held within the Verdia's ancient weapon. The man, impressed, asked how his conqueror's haki is so strong. He replied that he has been training his whole life to find the One Piece. Seeing his willpower, the man asks the guards to leave, and we find out that he is a king, referred to as Your Majesty by the guards. The guards were not leaving, but the king's haki was so strong that they had to leave. The man realized that our Chad is from another world, but that was not the main topic of discussion. He is curious how powerful his big Excalibur is when training lessons, to which our Chad replied that its potential will unfold with Verdia being here. Seeing his determination, the man offers a deal that he cannot refuse, to use his devil fruit powers to give satisfying lessons to women. The man never saw Verdia so passionate about something as he was when witnessing an art form. Shackles unlocked, and the man told him to refer to him as Sir Bettino. He also told him to keep this secret. After resting very hard, like he woke up, seeing his family jewels, his personal maid seemed to be distracted. And yes, he has now a personal maid. They will even put on his clothes and assist with every aspect of his daily life, including maintaining his Excalibur. With this, the king asks if he is ready to start the lessons, as the king gifts a royal item from his treasury. He asks if he can take care of Verdia's treasury. This mission's difficulty is very high, but King doesn't know that his skills are on par with even Demon King, as he never failed to complete his lessons, and assure the king that he will succeed in the name of Verdia. One guard asks about his lessons. It seems the word has already spread. Even the guards are impressed with his talent. They are curious and ask him to tell them about his lessons, but our main character believes in the value of equivalent exchange. After getting some funds, he tells them how he opened the path to an ancient weapon and explored everything with his big Excalibur. It seems they are surprised, as they thought the bigger weapon is harder to use in domain expansion, because women will not like it. He tells them that only weak people spread rumors like that. The same guards that were splashing water on him, they now see him as Giga Chad. Without wasting time, he asks the guard where the queen is, because it's time for the lessons. After getting the queen's whereabouts, he walks through the castle and finds the delicious devil fruit prepared by the maid. It's tempting, but he doesn't waste time and goes for the main course. He was thinking that the queen is watching some NPCs training, but instead she and some NPC soldiers are watching a woman demonstrate her swordsmanship. Just as he was closing the distance between him and the queen, the woman attacks our Chad. He tells her he is the main character, and he is going to explore the Grand Line with Verdia from now on. She is suspicious about the adventure because she is here to protect Verdia. It seems she doesn't know that he is the main character. Chad uses his 1% power to take her down with some special moves that he learned from the Kendo Master's wife in his world. After realizing who the main character is, she walks away. Chad approaches the queen, as he is now ready to explore the dungeon that no one dares to. He asks her to cosplay as the Invisible Girl for this expedition, but she refuses because it's so sudden. The main character explains to her that her husband asked him to explore the dungeon with her. After that, he asked how she and her husband explore it in detail. She replies that her magic power has not awakened, so her husband does most of the work. The main character uses his Riz fruit to help Verdia as she is now ready to cosplay as the Invisible Girl and explore the dungeon. He shows her the shield the king gave him as a present to put on him. After that, he explores every hidden part of the dungeon. Everything goes well until his last shield breaks. He asks Verdia if they can explore more without the shield. She is hesitant, but he convinces her to go without it just this once. Just as they start again, knock, knock. Verdia? Verdia tells Chad that Mr. Bettino will find out that they are not using shields. Chad assures him that he's just curious about the expedition and starts another one. Mr. Bettino keeps interrupting the exploration, so MC tells him not to. They're really close to defeating the boss. Chad continues and thinks if she is satisfied with his unparalleled skills. That's something they don't have to worry about because at last Queen Verdia powers awaken, and she is satisfied. After leaving the dungeon, Mr. Bettino asks him about the Grand Line exploration. He replies that it was successful. Sir Bettino, curious about how he managed to awaken her power, asks, and Miss Verdia replies, with his sword skills and the strength of his mighty Excalibur that awakened her power. Taeyang tells Verdia to show him all the 25 broken shields. He also ensures that they didn't go without shields, which Verdia also confirms. Mr. Bettino is very impressed, so he tells him to stay in the castle. He also asks her wife if she would like to continue the journey to find the One Piece. Well, we all know that. After that, Taeyang whispers to her to keep his present a secret. He completes his first mission with 0 difficulty, and the next day a grand feast is prepared for him. He enjoys the apple juice, and we find out the new title that he has been granted for his heroic actions. Hero of Charlotte's family. A week has passed. It seems Miss Verdia is acting like one of those anime girls who enjoy waifu recaps videos but are shy to subscribe. I know you're all not shy, so subscribe. Meanwhile, Taeyang discusses some important matters with Sir Bettino while drinking apple juice. Just like Dio when he meets Pookie to discuss the Heaven Plan. But the plan they are discussing is more difficult than that. It's to defeat the Demon King. For this plan, Sir Bettino asks Taeyang if he wants to join Fiona's party. Taeyang replies that it will be difficult because he had to awaken her ability by force. Just when was Taeyang thinking, why does he suddenly want her to awaken her power? Sir Bettino explains for the time being, he should not go on dungeon explorations with Verdia. A special guest is arriving. Her late husband passed away while awakening her power, so she is now the head of the royal family. She is close with Verdia, but that is not the main reason. It's because she despises people who isekai into this world. Just by thinking of her, he wants to meet her. Can't argue with that. Me too. Scenes changes and we find Taeyang doing push-ups. A maid arrives with his evening meal and informs that Lady Raven has arrived at the castle. Because he can't go on dungeon explorations with Verdia, he has to stay in his room and level up. It's not bad. Everything has been provided, the food delivered by maids and all. But his status window suggests that he wants to meet Lady Raven. He asks the maid about her, but she can't do it. This will be one of the hardest quests our main character has encountered. She is the head of the royal family and controls the Devil's Road that everyone is scared of. Despite Taeyang wanting to go on a Grand Line exploration and awaken her power, which her husband can't do, he was showing some secret sword techniques to the maid when someone knocks on the door. Who would be at this hour? Probably Sir Bettino, but no, it's Verdia. She asks hesitantly if she can come inside. Sir Bettino told him not to go on dungeon explorations. But upon seeing her kawaii cosplay, he can't resist. He starts the exploration without a shield, and it seems Verdia already has the mighty Excalibur in hand and is ready. After the intense training, he makes a series of hand signs, and then executes the water dragon bullet technique, releasing her from the water prison. Just when he finished, knock, knock. Taeyang thinks it's probably Sir Bettino, and prepares to show him the water dragon bullet technique. But to our surprise, it's Fiona. She attacks without thinking because she's not an experienced player yet. Taeyang tries to explain that her power is awakened, but she's not happy that he used the forbidden jutsu. She's very angry and draws a sword at him for using the forbidden jutsu. At this moment, he remembers the words from his master and training partner, "You should not fight, just run." Taeyang knows he can't do that and shows her the secret of his power. She is shocked, and taking advantage of the situation, he gains control of his sword against her devil fruit. He uses the Sharingan and shows her his true power when he went against the Demon King. In the end, she awakens her power. Verdia wakes up and asks Taeyang what happened. He explains the situation, that he had to use the forced awakening technique. Next morning, we see Taeyang doing breathing exercises. While trying so hard, he can't use the water breathing technique because his mind is in a different place. The status window warns him, but he decides to go anyway. He uses his observation haki to find Verdia, but instead he finds Lady Raven, whom Sir Bettino warned about. From her overwhelming aura, we can tell she's Lady Raven. Just when he was observing her, a maid gets distracted and almost spills the glass of apple juice on Lady Raven. Our main character catches it with his spidey sense, but he spills the juice. The maid apologizes. Lady Raven tells her not to worry and continues with her work. She wipes the juice from her devil fruit and asks our main character for his name, and thanks him. Taeyang was thinking she is the cold-hearted princess, much like that anime sister of Tatsumaki. Anyway, we see Verdia running, looking concerned, and speaking a name, Ariella. Lady Raven tells her that it was a small incident and Taeyang prevented it. Ariella's name slips out of Taeyang. She is now suspicious about him because she thought he knew her full name, Ariella Raven. Things were getting nerve-wracking, but Verdia saves him. After some time, Verdia comes to Taeyang and tells him that Ariel wants to meet him. She also mentions that she'll be joining them. Just as Taeyang starts pondering the reason, Verdia reveals that Ariel was inquiring about him, and she told her about the Grand Line exploration. Various thoughts race through our main character's mind. What if she also wants to go on dungeon explorations? They arrive at the room where Lady Raven is engaged in water-breathing exercises. While they wait, Verdia suggests leveling up. Taeyang asks what would happen if they were caught using forbidden jutsu. Verdia replies that Ariel takes her time while doing water breathing. Without wasting time, he quickly used the skills to level up. Just when he was about to level up, we hear footsteps. It seems Lady Raven finished the water breathing. They didn't expect her to come out so soon. But there's no need to worry because Taeyang finished the water dragon bullet technique in time. While Lady Raven was doing her Fubuki cosplay, she told them that she'd never heard of anyone doing a Grand Line exploration within the Charlotte family, especially going to the Hidden Island. She asks Verdia if he knew about the adventure, to which Verdia replies that her husband hired him to navigate her ship. Miss Raven had never heard of someone else helping level up married wives. Taeyang told her that he only works for specific people. Then she told him that because Verdia's safety is her priority, she wants him to show his player license. Feeling confused, he quickly makes up an excuse, saying he doesn't carry it with him. He tells her that he can prove it by releasing the water prison within Verdia. She tells him that it's not necessary. Instead, she asks him to tell his brand name. In this critical situation, he has to answer quickly or she will become suspicious. Waifu Hunter. He said it and she starts laughing. Yeah, like he's in some manhwa or something. Our main character is embarrassed, and Verdia has no clue what he was talking about. She tells him that she knew he had potential, but he is not the one. She doesn't know who the main character is. Verdia asks Ariel for dinner, but she has already dined. Taeyang asks Verdia if she'd like to join him instead, but Verdia refuses. Taeyang is surprised that his talk no jutsu didn't work. He goes to bed, thinking everything will now go according to plan like some anime villain. But he also forgot that one villain said nothing goes as planned in this isekai world. Some guards throw him into the water. Taeyang is very confused, but only one name comes to his mind. Ariella. She's the one, the only one who can do something like this. As Ariella comes walking, Taeyang asks her why she kicked him out like this. She replies that he should already know someone from another world, and without a license is nothing in this world. We sees Verdia approaching with Fiona. Taeyang asks for her forgiveness for using forbidden techniques, but she is in a state of shock and asks him to quickly leave. Despite Taeyang's attempt at a talk no jutsu, Fiona doesn't wait and attacks him. Verdia asks him to leave and never address her as his training partner again. Guards throw Taeyang far away from the castle. Is his life going to end like this? No, not like this, Taeyang. You have to appear more on waifu recaps. Like and comment so we can save him. Look, a mysterious woman is already arriving.